Hey everybody, Ground Your Games back with Decisive campaigns. We're going to invade Poland. So it's September 1, 1939. And in the previous video we just kind of did an overview. So we're going to do a little gameplay and check out the game and see if we can be successful. A couple things to look at. The brief right here, just as a reminder. Basically, we have till the 23rd to get enough victory points to win the game, or to win this campaign. One thing is kind of cool to look at is the order of battle. So if you click on Army Group North, it will pull up 3rd Army and 4th Army. And if you click on the Army, it'll pull up the corps. So if you look in 4th Army, you'll recognize this name. This is 19th Corps. Heinz Guderian, who is the self-proclaimed godfather of blitzkrieg warfare. Might be true. You know, a lot of German generals were adept at coming up with new doctrines. So I'm guessing that while he had a big role to play, I'm sure there were others that contributed. And if we look at 2nd Corps, Adolf Strauss, and then I'll show you the divisions that are under their command. So 3rd Panzer for Guderian, 20th Motorized Division, 2nd Motorized Engineers, and the Panzerlehr Battalion. So that is the order of battle. You can also access these by clicking on them. So you see if I click, it highlights them, so they're right there. So that's just another way to find the units that you want to find. Again, cards, but you have to have political points, 10 to use. I only have 5, so I can't use that. I don't know that I'll even need it. Maybe if I do the campaign, I'll have an opportunity to use a card, but for now we're just taking a look at some gameplay on the Fall Weiss. Here's a strategic map, so you can see all the units. So Army Group North, Army Group South, and we'll go back. So these grayed out areas are fog of war. We don't know what's here, so I think maybe we should see what, if anything, is over here. So what we can do is we can pick an air unit. Let me scroll in a little bit. So there's an air unit, and you can use it for recon. So if you look, here's your unit details. You have 100 HS-126s, 30 BF-110Cs, and 25 BF-109Es. Quite advanced Air Force for the time. They obviously dominated Poland. So Army Group North was commanded by Fedor von Bock, and they were to capture the Polish corridor, which is this. Basically, Army Group North was to move in, push towards Warsaw, surround, and meet up with Army Group South this way. So essentially encircle this whole area, including Warsaw, and cut off the army from its supply, because everything for Poland came out of Warsaw. So that's the grand prize, and if you click on it, you'll see it's worth 10 victory points. So it's a pretty big deal. So we'll move in a little bit, and let's take care of some fog of war. So we're going to do our first gameplay. We're going to check out this area here and see what we can come up with for see if there's any units hiding. And I'm guessing there are. Here's the range I can go to. I think I'll start here and then we'll use another unit to go down here perhaps. We can maybe, unfortunately you can't break these out into just recon and then fighters and tactical bombers. You have to use the whole group for recon. So recon would be right here, this button. Click that, and then we can select a hex. So let's select the city just to make sure. And then we're gonna hit yes. And you can see, so we found a unit maybe right here. Yep, so there's one sitting in the city of Kosierzyna. Again, I apologize for my pronunciations, especially the Polish. Even though I'm Polish, some of these names are hard to pronounce. All right, so we kind of cleared up that area. We see we have a unit here, which shows up right here. So about 5,000 troops. So I think that's a division for Poland. 27th Infantry Division. It's not a very big division, but I think we're going to let them sit. It's not a victory point. We'll just kind of keep a holding pattern on, see if they do anything. I think we also need to recon this area here. We don't know. We know there's units, but we don't know what they are. I'd like to check out Groudens and see perhaps what is guarding the city. So let's select this air unit. And we can't, yep, get the Groudens. So let's do a recon. If you notice here too, you can also blow bridges with air units, which might come in handy, especially if they if the Poles try to retreat, which they will, I'm sure. All right, let's just recon for now. We're going to just recon the city. So select that and check. And doesn't look like anything's in the city except we identified these divisions. So actually these are more like battalions or regiments. That's a division right there. This one's only got 500, but it has some guns, cannons, so that could be dangerous for tanks. So the 16th Infantry Division looks like we need to deal with them. And then over here we have more we don't know. If you move your ground units in, you'll be able to identify them. They have points, I guess, for determining if you're able to actually see them. So you may have to move more than one unit into a hex to identify them. I'm not quite sure on that mechanic. Bear in mind, I'm new to this game. I've messed around with it, tried to figure out the mechanics. So there's some recon. We do have a pocket right here, but I'm not really worried about it. It's in heavy forest. And you can see your, it's hard to, okay, I can't touch the mouse because it'll flicker. So if you look at the terrain, it'll give you mods. So attack mod for infantry, 100% defense. To enter, it looks like it costs 50 movement or AP. And AP is your basically total power of the units, so you can move and attack. Some units are better than others. Obviously, motorized can move further, tanks and so forth. So it gives you an idea of what it will cost to move in. So if you look down below, AP move type, you have AP cost 30 for foot, motorized, 25 for cavalry, 30 for tracked, supply 30, so on and so forth. No rail. Cover is 40, so cover is really good in heavy forest, good for infantry, good for hiding guns and so on and so forth. They get better defenses in heavy forests. This area here in this hex is swamp, marsh, very bad for motorized. So if you see artillery, they only work at 60%, they only have 80% defense. Light tanks, 50 and 50%, medium tanks, so on and so forth. So it's not great. It's great for air. So airstrikes in swamps are a good thing. But moving motorized, especially, you can see tracked and motorized costs 50 AP cost out of 100. And that's assuming you're fully supplied and morale is good and so on. So enemy terrain penalty is 5 as well. So if you're in enemy terrain, you get modifiers. So combat modifiers include terrain. So sometimes though it's difficult. You have no option other than to move through the marsh, which is going to be the case here unless I can somehow get around here. But I'm guessing in the forts there are going to be a lot of defenses, and the corridor that's clear, of course, leads right to the forts. We'll send an air unit to recon that. So let's take a look with this air group, and we're going to fly right to the edge because we want to see what is over here. So let's do this. And okay. So recon, we identified all these. So you can see that you can either go this way through the swamp and maybe encircle as possible. The forts, of course, are heavily defended and they have big time modifiers. So just to move into a fort hex costs 25 AP for foot soldiers, cavalry 20, tracked 15, so tracked not so bad. Motorized pretty good, so you can get to them. The problem is attacking them. So they have structural points, auto recover points. So I think that's trying to simulate probably medical facilities and supplies and so forth in the fort. So basically you have to destroy the fort and then destroy it, but it's not easy. So I don't know if going around is ideal, or if trying to plow straight through. It will probably slow us down if we try and plow straight through. So maybe we'll try and encircle that area. We'll see. I think we should recon more. I think Bromberg is a good recon point. Where can we use, let's see, we've got air unit here. So, and we can reach that, so let's recon there. Let's recon Bromberg. And see if there, what pops up here. Fancy sound effects. Oh, looky here. So this is the Pomor's operational group. Vladislav Bortnowski is the commander. And you can see some info. They have some troops here. You can see not that big. Basically, it's headquarters, artillery, and flak. So we should be able to overrun that, but we have to get through this first. I think as well we should probably recon Poznan if we can reach. Let's see if we can, just to see what we're looking at. Maybe it'd be better to recon over here, since we can save this for the next turn, or perhaps we'll be able to use it. So let's recon here and see what we have over here. Recon, select the hex. Let's go Let's go right here and see what that gets us. Okay, here's our recon. I like how it has bombs and Stuka sirens when you're just reconning, but I guess you can't have everything. Alright, so we basically identified one unit here. I think we can, actually, I can do this again and, no, I'm running out of supply. My reach is not going to make it, but we can go down here. So let's go down to Poznan. Let's recon this as far as I can go. And there we go. Tadeusz Krzyba is the commander of the Poznan operational group. And let's see what kind of troops we have. 3,000 staff. They can get out their typewriters and pencils and fight the Germans, right? And only 800 infantry. So it's a few guns. Shouldn't be a big deal. Some artillery, flak, and so forth. We don't know what's here yet. Once we get close, shouldn't be a problem. We don't have any recon here yet, but that's okay. I just wanted to see what was here. And if we move south, let's take a look. So here's 8th Army. And this is commanded by Johann Blaskowitz. And you can see down here if you have, they have cards, but well, I guess I can use these. Oh, maybe not. We don't need them anyway. All right. So let's recon. I think we're going to try and we're going to push into Czestochowa and then up probably this way towards Lodz, and then we're going to just push straight east with these guys into Kalisz and then meet up in Lodz, hopefully. 8th Army. 8th Army is part of the Southern Army Group. Army Group South. Let's find that. Here we go. Army Group South. And then all the corps. So 8th Army. We're going to push, like I said, this way, and then 10th. I'm sorry, all these units right here are going to push right here and then up. Maybe Kielce, if there aren't a lot of units defending, maybe we can sweep as far as that way and then up because we need to meet in Warsaw. So I don't know if we're going to have enough time. We'll see. It depends on how well I prep the battlefield. We can do more air recon down here for the Slav units, but I think I'll wait on that. I'm more concerned with the German units. The only real option for these units here is Przemysl, but they have to run straight up because of the mountains here. These are high mountains, so southern Poland is mountainous compared to the rest of Poland, which is basically wide open field for the most part. You can see right here, open fields, so ideal for mechanized blitzkrieg style warfare up here. Down here, a little more difficult. Cities are difficult to take, but I think we don't have a lot covering. I think we should be able to destroy all these units here and take our victory point here. The Sosnowice, which is, I think, the proper pronunciation. You can correct me if I'm wrong. So the decision is to then, where are we going to start? I think we're going to start with our main group here. We don't know what these are yet. I don't know if I think I can recon. So let's recon this again, and let's go here. Let's just pick this hex. Let's see what we're looking at. All right, so a couple small divisions. That one's a little larger. You want to look at the troop points. This shows their readiness. Obviously 100% is good, but it's still pretty good at 84. This is their entrenchment. So it improves defense. The more entrenchment, obviously the harder it is to dig them out. For instance, if you look in the forts, they have a 95, 77, 130. That's a big one right there. So that's going to be tough to dig out. I think the best bet might be to kind of go this way and try and surround. For instance, that one, it's weaker. That one's stronger. That one's really weak. It's not actually in a fort. Probably a reserve unit. The fort is the tough nut to crack. These are going to be a little more difficult because they're in marshland. So we may have to send, may have to just hit them with artillery and airstrikes first, and then see if we can move in. So let's show you, give you an idea of what combat is like. So let's take a look at this unit. So this is going to be a pretty easy unit to destroy, I think. So if you know anything about the Germans, encirclement was their big doctrine. And it goes back to World War I, where they attempted to encircle. But that obviously didn't work out. It was too much of a slog to do that. I think the lessons of the First World War taught the Germans blitzkrieg, that it's the best way. Quick and fast strike. Shock and awe, as we all come to know it in modern times. All right, so we're going to try and destroy the Pomorska Cavalry Brigade. 2,500 Polish cavalry, 50 BARs, 50 rifle. I think those are anti-tank rifles. Yep, AT rifle. 10 cannons, 10 Bofors, 37 millimeter. 5 tanks, small tanks, and armor cars. So I think we're going to take the 20th. So the way it works is you select a unit, and it'll show you what kind of terrain they're in. And then you can click the move, and you'll notice it gives you a range. So this is how far they can travel, and that's because they are motorized, so they have a lot further. So, and then you'll see arrows. These arrows indicate an attack position. So I could move this one division right here, which I'll do. And then I am able to attack from 2 different angles, which gives me a concentric attack, which adds bonuses. Now the city gives them bonuses as well for cover. But if we move in quickly and strike fast, I think we'll be okay. So I'm going to move 2 here, and look at that. That opened up another unit that we may have missed. You'll notice that when I moved the second unit in, it uncovered more from Fog of War. So essentially, you want to look at your stack points. If you look up here, STK 104 out of 100. Stack points go up to 100. If you overstack, you can have penalties because it's trying to simulate it's too crowded of an area for all these different divisions. Too many men, too many vehicles, too many guns, so on and so forth to wage battle effectively, although you can still win the battle. You just could end up taking more losses, which you don't want to do. And if we look here on this one, our stack is 83. So we're kind of understacked. We're slightly overstacked. We're pretty even. I found that that's kind of the way you want to do it. You want to keep it somewhat even to help. If you look at, yeah, it becomes overstacked over 100. All right, so we're going to attack with the 20th motorized under Guderian, and we're going to start here in the city. We're going to move right on in. We're going to attack. So actually, let's do an artillery barrage first and see if it does anything. So if you click here, this is your attack bar. You select the enemy unit, and then this is what you get. You get land attack, artillery, barrage, and an airstrike. I don't know if we can do an airstrike. I don't think we can pick units. Let's look. We do have units to use, so let us pick. I just want to see what an airstrike looks like. It's your back button. Let's pick our unit. Let's pick this one right here. All right, we're going to pick this unit to do an airstrike. Let's find out what happens. Attack. And this gives you a visual representation. So we didn't really do any damage because they're in a city. That's okay. Let's try artillery now. Let's see if artillery has any effect. Could force them to retreat. So I don't think we need all of this artillery. We're going to use we'll use one regimental, or not regimental, corps artillery or division artillery. This is corps. So let's pick this one. Just hit the check mark. And then let's use 20th right here. Oh, whoops. Never mind. Okay, let's start over. We're going to pick that. We're going to do an artillery barrage. We're going to pick we'll use one. So take that out. We'll take third out. We'll take second out because we're going to use 20th since 20th is attacking, right? So we're going to use a corps level artillery group and a division level artillery group. And the stack is only 72, so maybe I should add another one. Let's try one from, if you click list, you can see them all. Let's pick another. Let's pick another. All right, 124. How about from second? 92, that's better. Okay, so that's closer. I don't want to be over too much. I think if you're over a few points, it's okay. Or under a few points is okay. So let's see what we have. So we're going to attack with a corps. I believe these are corps level artillery. I'm using the NATO counters. Motorized artillery from the 20th and from the 2nd. Here we go, attack. Get our fancy... Okay, so we did some serious damage here. We destroyed one vehicle. Pretty good. So we softened them up. And you'll see their bar went down. So now we're at 1900. You can look at the stats too. Some right here. You can see casualties inflicted. Right now we're at 605. Not bad for an artillery barrage. Okay, so now we're going to ground attack. We're moving in. So we're going to select all. But we're not going to attack with the 2nd yet. I want to try it just with these units and see if I can't move in and destroy them. So let's take the second out. Like that. And now we just have the 20th. So we're going to attack. We're moving it. Let's see what we do. And we killed a lot. And we won. We did lose a vehicle. It looks like a half track perhaps. You can switch here and look for detailed. So you have readiness, status, morale, and so on. It's pretty cool. You pick the individual unit. And it gives you all kinds of different information. Like I said, it's not Grigsby stuff, but it's still pretty good. So we force them to retreat. They are weakened. They're almost destroyed. But what this allows now is you're able to move in for free into that hex that you attacked. Let's see if we can do a group move. This is it, move individual units. This is move group. Let's see if we can move the whole group. No, I can only move them back, but I want to go into that hex. Even though it's not a victory condition, it's still a city. So we're going to move there. There, and you can see I can attack them again, or I can move and attack here, which I think I'm going to do, because I can use the second motorized division to attack with them. Move the last unit here, and this unit is spent, so it cannot move. You'll see it's grayed out, and it has 0 AP action points, so it cannot move. But that's okay. We'll wait. So now we're looking at perhaps this unit right here, a little stronger. We may need to pound them with artillery and perhaps attack with some 3rd armored. So that gives you an idea of some of the gameplay. What I'm going to do is continue on. I will record it, but I'll speed up the video and chunk it out in further episodes so it's not as painful. But that should give you an idea, and then we'll see how far we can get and how quickly we can invade and win the campaign. I hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like these videos, please subscribe and press like. Thanks, and have a great day.